You'll have to do that sometime, brother. So don't be laughing.
My name is Ashley Radin, and I will be talking to you about organ donation. The gift of life is precious, whether it's a mother giving birth or someone donating an organ to save the life of another. Organ and tissue donation is not a subject most people are comfortable discussing, since it does involve the subject of death. Organ donation is not about death, but life. The decision to become an organ donor can give hope to thousands of people waiting for an organ transplant and hope to millions more whose lives can be improved by tissue transplantations. Through personal experience and online research, I will explain why each of you need to make a commitment to be an organ donor, who can donate, and how you can go about becoming a donor. So just why should you become an organ donor? We all have organs that we can donate after we pass, and we all have the power to save someone's life. Here in the United States, there is a huge shortage of organ donors. People waiting on a transplant list can wait anywhere from a few months to years, which means this wait could be too late for them. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, on organdonor.gov, someone is added to the list every 10 minutes. Each day, about 79 people receive organ transplants. However, 22 people die each day waiting for transplants that can't take place due to the shortage. The DMV.org states that there are more than 123,000 people currently waiting on an organ. It takes just one person willing to commit to being an organ donor to save or enhance a life. According to the National Foundation for Transplants on transplants.org, one organ donor can save 8 lives and change the lives of more than 50 people. Not only you donate organs and tissues after death, you can also be a living donor if you choose. This can be done by donating a kidney or portions of other organs such as a lung or an intestine. You, as a living donor, can go on to live a healthy life, and the recipient may no longer have to rely on costly medical treatments to survive and return to living a normal lifestyle. I know personally the impact organ donation can have for another human. My grandmother was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy, a deterioration of the heart muscle. By the time the doctors found out what her problem was, her heart was barely working. Her only hope of living was a heart transplant, and through the gift of another human, she received it. Had someone not been willing to be an organ donor, her transplant would not have been possible. Anyone can be a donor, regardless of age or medical history. Infants and senior citizens alike have been organ donors. The United States Network for Organ Sharing states that the medical condition at the time of death will determine what organs and tissues can be donated. Donors are also needed for all races and ethnic groups. Success rates for transplants increase when organs can be matched between people from the same ethnic background. Also, most major religions in the United States support organ donation. Many consider it as a last act of generosity towards others. There are several ways to register as an organ donor. The simplest way is to just sign the back of your driver's license indicating you want to be a donor. Another way is to sign up on your state's donor registry, which is a legal binding. You can state your decision to be a donor in a will or living will. You can also tell your doctor, faith leader, and friends it is very important to discuss your choice to be a donor with a family member as well. Before signing up to become a donor, make sure you are completely educated about the entire process and then talk to your friends and their families and others in your community to help educate them on organ donation and just what it means to those waiting on a donor list. Encourage them to register themselves to help save lives. In 2013, there were over 14,000 organ donations, resulting in over 28,000 transplants. Unfortunately, this was only a fraction of the number of people who needed a transplant. In conclusion, DonateLife.net states that over 50% of the U.S. adults are registered donors. This shows how Americans are accepting donation as a responsibility to help others. Transportation provides thousands of people a second chance at life each year. Each one of us has the opportunity to make these miracles happen. If you have reservations about becoming a donor, Eleanor Roosevelt put it in best words when she said, "You must do the things you think you cannot do." Someday it may be someone you love that needs an organ donation just as my grandmother did. So make the decision to give the gift of life. I urge you to become an organ donor. Become a lifesaver. Thank you.
That was good. Very good.
Okay,
It's got a good note.
all right, Corinne.
Oh,
That's good, hon. I like that.
it was.
We done recording?
Presentation.